Hi, it's Linda from Linda's Paperworks. Today I'm going to work on Meg's Junk Journal July prompt number 19, which is tucked away. And I'm going to be working in my little after supper journal on this section back here. On this page, these two pages. I'm going to use this paper, which is what I used on the cover as well, and make a pocket here that loads from the side, and a pocket here that also loads from the side. And I'm going to go ahead and cut a divot in this pocket so it's a little easier to pull things out of that pocket. And I'm just using my 1-inch hole punch on this. And what I do is I go about halfway down and just a little ways in there. Just kind of look at it and see what I think. There we go. Let's see, do I want to put any ink on this? I think I do. And I'm going to use Ground Espresso, which is the darker of my two browns. And just put a little bit on the edge to kind of make it stand out from this paper. I'm going to put another pocket on top of this, on this side. And then this side will be a pocket on this side. And I'll wait to tell you about the rest of that in a minute, or several minutes, depending on how long it takes me to do all this. Putting a little ink on. Maybe I should have done that before too, because inking is kind of boring. This paper has a really rough edge when I tear it with my ruler, so it is kind of ragged on the edge, which I'm okay with that. It gives it a little extra something, raggedness. This edge was cut with scissors, or was the edge of the page, so it didn't have that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. And I'm going to be using my Fabri-Tac. I had a question recently about why I use a fabric glue on the paper. Because, for one thing, it's expensive, and it seems like it'd be easier and cheaper to use Elmer's glue. The reason I do is because this glue is acetone based, and it doesn't make the paper wrinkle up like a water-based glue will sometimes do. And it also is quick drying, so you don't have to clamp it or do anything and wait a long time for it to finish drying. And I'm sure there's another reason, but I've forgotten what it is at the moment. If I think of it, I'll mention it. But the main reason is it doesn't take a long time for it to dry. It doesn't wrinkle the paper. That's a big deal too. And oh, the other thing is it's a strong glue, and it generally will not let go. It does sometimes. It's not. None of them are foolproof. I don't think. I think any of them can have a tendency to not stay stuck. I'm putting just a little bit along that bottom edge. It's going to be down in the fold of the paper, and I don't want it to come out of there. And also, this is just held by the elastic, so that will give that a little strength for these two pages to stay together. So I'm just going to put this down in that fold as best I can there, and then come up this way like that. Now, since I've said this is strong glue, it probably will pop up. Okay. And then on this side, I'm just going to put the glue on those two edges. I'm not going to put a divot in this one because I have another idea for this, so I'll just leave that a straight line. And come on, glue. Okay, where is my glue eraser? There it is. Glue off the edge there. It just didn't want to give it up. There we go. Okay. I'm going to put a button over here that I made out of these cardboard pieces. I'm going to go ahead and glue these two together so they can be sticking together. I'm just using 2 this time. I used 4 when I made the this button on this page because I wanted it to be sturdy and hold this picture in. I don't know if I succeeded in what I was trying to do, but on this one I'm just holding a flap end that I'll show you in a second. And I'm going to put this here, but first I'm going to put paper on it. And I'd originally thought I would put some of this paper on there, but then the flap I'm going to tuck under it is that same paper. So do I want that or do I want this? Decisions. Okay, well, while I'm thinking about that, I'm going to ink this paper, which is going to be the pocket that goes on that side. Get my ink over here. Go. Just put a little bit on that. I think I'm going to put the this more frayed edge out to the edge there like that. I think that's what I want to do. So I will put glue on 3 sides of this one. Another advantage of Fabri-Tac glue is that if you get glue, like I was rubbing it off the edge there a minute ago, it will peel up and you can just rub it off and kind of, if you get to it in time. If it dries completely, then you can't do that. But if it's still just a little bit tacky, you can use your finger and just rub it off and you won't have the glue on your other paper. So that is an advantage of Fabri-Tac as well. But I have to say, I did buy a large bottle of Elmer's glue the other day that I plan to use in doing some decoupage. And I believe it is Natasha of Treasure Books who recommended putting I think it's 3 to 1, 1 part glue, or maybe it's 2 to 1. 1 part glue, 2 parts water. I'll have to look it up again before I do it, but she said just get it where it's runny, and it works best to do that, to glue down napkins and things like that. Okay, now this little piece that I'm going to put in this pocket is, I'm going to ink that edge as well. It's going to be a little fold over, kind of like this little folder I put back here. It's not going to have the pocket on the outside, but this 3-fold piece like that, it won't have this closure. It'll be different. Hopefully it will work out like I plan it. And I have marked where I want to fold this, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Look at my mind here. I am going to use my bone folder to crease this, and I hope that will keep that from having that problem with it peeling back. And it's this, I don't know, it's not plastic-like, but it's kind of it has a finish on it, and I think that's what causes that top layer to crack like that. So I'm hoping that by scoring it even that much, it will keep it from cracking like that. Put this one right here on that line. And then I'm going to erase my pencil marks. Okay. This little folder could be used. You could glue a picture in it, or you could write a note or write a journal entry or something like that in it. Or what else could you do with this? You could, I guess you could draw a picture in there if you wanted to do that. Okay. It also makes that fold easier. And what I did is I left about, oh, what is that, about 3/8 of an inch there between there and the opening, so it's easier to open it up. I'm not going to glue it. I mean, I suppose you could glue it like a pocket, and you'd still have the flap open and insert it in here. So I'm going to ink this edge of this, also with the espresso, brown espresso. Oh, I wanted to tell you how I made the scalloped edge on this. I was watching a video from Eve Spade, I believe is her channel name, and she had been doing some little die cut foldy things, and she only ran the die cut halfway through the machine. So I was thinking, I had this set of various size scalloped edges, or to make ovals, to make labels, or whatever. And so I decided that I'd like to have the scalloped edge on the edge of this, and I was thinking, well, I can't do it this way and stop halfway, so I put it on this edge and ran it through the machine this way. And you have to guess, because you can't see through the machine to see how far it's gone. But this, by the time I got here, it was off the edge, and so it just cut the corner right there like perfect. I was very happy with that result. So I have a scalloped edge on my little folder thing. It's fun when you come up with a new idea like that. And even though it wasn't completely my idea, I did adapt it, so. Okay. Well, I might as well go ahead that edge. Do that edge too. These smooth edges do not ink as well as those torn edges do. So I'm going to put this in here and push it as far in as it will go, and then I want the button to go right there. I'm going to put the paper on here, and I need to decide which one I want on there. This will be like this, or this would be like the rest of it. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll just go ahead and punch both of them out and see which one I like best. Come out. And let's see, I thought it'd be pretty to have that whole little bouquet there, little cluster of flowers, so it fits pretty well, like that. Oh, my thing has gotten, there we go. These things, I need to punch aluminum foil with it to keep it sharp, and wax paper to keep it operating smoothly. Okay, this would be this one, and I would ink the edge so it would be brown, and have it down just where that tucks under the edge of it. Or the blue one. Same deal, just where it tucks under the edge. I don't think it matters too much, but I think I'm leaning toward the floral one. I think this is cute too, but I think I'll go with floral. It can't go wrong with flowers, right? That's what I think. Okay. And just put that on there. press it down and roll it. Keep the edges straight. Okay, and then I'm going to ink it around those edges. Well, with any glue I have on there. Okay. On this one, I'm just kind of going sideways around the edge because I don't want a whole lot of that brown on top of the... Okay, let's see how that looks. I think that'll be cute. So, put my right lids on the right things here. And I'm going to do the same thing I did on this one by just gluing part of it. But I think I'm going to glue it down. Let's see, which way do I want this to go? That looks right to me, upright. And I want it to be about halfway. And I think I'm going to do about half of that. Do about 2 halfway. Give it a little bit of this to keep it from oozing out so much. And I'm going to remove this about the same time I put this down because I don't want it to get glue on the edge. And we'll just hold that down for a minute. Put the lid back on the glue so it doesn't evaporate. That's one thing about that acetone-based glue. I think that's why it gets so thick, is because it evaporates. Okay, do we think we're glued? Don't know. I haven't decided what I want to put in my pockets yet. I have this piece that was something my grandmother wrote on to one of her daughters, I'm assuming. My mother was one, and then my aunt. Love, peace, and joy abide with you and all your household, Mom. And I was thinking about sliding that in here because it's got the rose on it. I think that would be pretty. Or, I don't know, maybe I'll have to find a picture or something to slide in there. Okay, hopefully that is glued down enough. And then this little piece. Oh great, now I've got the ink made a line on there. Oh well, maybe I should ink it real good and have a line going across all the way. Why not? Just cover up that mistake with more ink. Okay. So it now has a line. I don't particularly like the line there, but what are you gonna do? Anyway. Okay. All right, this slides in here. That goes over, and then that goes under the button to hold the flap down. Like that. I think that looks cute. I like that. And I don't know, maybe I'll find some pictures or something to slide in some of these pockets tucked away. I think if tucked away is tucked away for safekeeping, or to remember something by, tucked away for future reference or future enjoyment. So anyway. So that is my Prout 19. I should put a 19 on here somewhere. I'll have to think about that too. Maybe I'll come back in a minute and show you what I've decided to tuck in and tuck away, and also where I'm going to put my 19. So I'll be back in a moment or two. Okay, after some dithering around, I'm back. What I decided to do was make a tag to go in this pocket behind this little fold over, which is just a place to put a picture or write a note or whatever. And I'm just going to leave it blank for now. And it just slides in and goes behind the button, for lack of a better term for that, or tab, whatever you want to call that. And then I made this tag. I had some of this embossed paper left over with this script on it. So I decided to make a quick tag with it, and I used the dot pattern, this index card dot grid pattern to make the card, to make the tag with. And this is a rub-on transfer from, and I got these at Crafter's Square, which is Dollar Tree crafting area. And so I rubbed that on, put the little teacup here with the butterfly on it. And this butterfly is a sticker that was also from a Crafter's Square set. And I fussy cut it out from the, it was a round sticker, and I cut the butterfly off of that. So that goes in here, like that. And then on this side, I decided to turn this over sideways so that the rose is at the bottom. And I looked for a picture of my grandmother, and I didn't really find one that fits in here, so I may have to see what I can find. And then, well, I do have it stuck back here, this picture. This is my grandmother, and this was her mother. And these are cats in a dishpan. I don't know what they were doing. I guess they were just sitting out on the porch with the animals to make a picture. She was visiting her daughter, I'm sure. And this was in 1940. And I also put I used my, this die, whoops, used this die to cut out this shape out of this paper. And it's just a journaling spot, I guess you'd call it. And I put it in here, just kind of turned where the flower shows a little bit there, and put the picture, I slid it behind here. I may take this to the library and reduce the size of it a little bit, or I hate to mess up the original photograph, so I might reduce the size or just keep the size and cut it out where there's not so much of this black up at the top, and make a picture to go in here, either there or in this pocket. So anyway, that's what I ended up with for this layout for tucked away. Pictures tucked away, this is tucked away. And so I hope you enjoyed seeing what I did with the prompt, and maybe gave you some ideas of what you might like to do sometime. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.